Hi, welcome back. My name's Scott. Today I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison. The newer Elijah Craig from Heaven Hill. I believe this is a 7 to 12-year-old blend. So I think they've stopped obviously producing the straight 12-year and now have gone to more blending barrels. This actually is the 12-year age stated on back, so hopefully you can maybe see that a little bit better. So, and this is actually a 12-year product, so we'll see kind of maybe how both of them compare to each other. So I've already got them poured, so we can go ahead and get into a little bit of this. So first we'll show some color. See on this one, it's a nice bronze copper color, and let's check out the other one, see what we've got here. So same thing, this might be a tad darker, not by much, both pretty close. So but we'll get into the tasting here in a second. We'll see what we've got. I think first I'm going to start with the new bottle. So we'll see what we've got here. So let's go ahead. We'll get into the nose of this. See what we've got here. Nice sweetness to that. You get a little bit of like orange zest to that right up front. Butterscotch. That's about it. It's got a really nice nose to it. You can tell it's going to be a little sweet. Let's try this. See what we've got. Boy, so on the 12-year, right up front, you get a lot of that caramel, vanilla. That's something I wasn't getting from the regular one before. Still, this is nice, but now you're getting into something that's actually aged 12 years, so that makes a little bit of a difference, especially when you're dealing with now something that's anywhere from 7 to 12 years in a blend, and we don't know how much of the 12-year barrels are mixed in with this. So yeah, again, vanilla, honey, butterscotch, a little bit of oak, not a whole lot. Boy, just a great nose to this. I've had it before, and it's a fantastic bourbon, and I'm sure everybody who's familiar with Elijah Craig and the fact that it's kind of gone away, everybody, it's difficult to even find. Once in a while they'll pop up, or you might find one of these tucked away in the back somewhere, behind maybe even some of the newer bottles or some of the other ones they've just mixed in with the newer, so that even on with some of these, there are still some of these bottles out there, but they may not even indicate that they're 12-year age stated on the back. Now they just talk about, it's a finely crafted bourbon and so on. So, but again, I don't know if I mentioned before, so Elijah Craig is a Heaven Hill product. They've got a lot of great products. They're really doing some great things over there as well. So one of my favorite distilleries, actually. So, but anyway, back to the review. Let's go ahead and we'll get into the tasting of this. So cheers. And again, this is going to be from the newer blended bottle. So up front, on this, you get a little bit of heat, not too bad. That corn flavor is really coming through on this. A little bit of that oak flavor coming through. Boy, there's something there that I'm trying to figure out what that is. Maybe like a baking spice of some sort. Again, there's that orange zest that's there, so that's sweet. Yeah, so still a little bit of oak, that orange zest flavor kind of coming through. Vanilla, the butterscotch. Medium finish on it. Not super long. Great flavor. I mean, this is a great bourbon. I mean, again, it's something that's a nice, easy sipper. Something that's readily available. You can find this just about anywhere. They're producing a ton of this stuff. So, again, not a lot of heat. 94 proof. 47% ABV. So something again that if you're newer to bourbon or whiskeys. Pick this up for yourself or somebody else. Easy to drink. So let's go on to the Elijah Craig 12 year. Boy, a little more oak on this. Boy, a lot of caramel, some honey coming through on that. Butterscotch again. The oak is a little more, present on this. I think that's just because of now we're dealing with something that's, been in that barrel for 12 years. So, that usually has a tendency to be the case. The longer it sits, the more oaky it becomes. So, and for a lot of bourbons, this kind of, age on something, really becomes kind of the sweet spot, that anywhere from 8, 10, 12 years, becomes a pretty darn good bourbon. For me, once you get above, that 12 year, you start to get a lot more of that oak presence. To me, it starts to kind of dilute, the overall flavor just because it becomes so dominant. And I'm not a huge fan of, the oak. I like it with this, but again, it's one of those things where everybody's palate's going to be a little bit different. So, anyway, let's go ahead and taste this. Cheers. Yeah, again, a little more oak, vanilla, honey, butterscotch, some baking spice. But the flavor of this, I would say, all in terms of the blend, with this being 12 year, is just a fantastic bourbon. I know it's difficult or almost impossible to find, nowadays, but if you're able to find a few of these, pick them up, store them, because they're not doing the 12 year anymore. They've now gone obviously to the blend. So if you can find it, get it. But if you're at the liquor store or a grocery store, wherever you're, picking up your whiskeys or bourbons, check in the back, and turn these things around and see, as I said before, and I'll show you again here on this, if you can read that, it indicates that it was aged for 12 long years. So, again, if you can find that, pick it up. So, I guess as far as, the two, they're both very, very comparable, both fantastic, readily available, fairly inexpensive, actually. I think you can find these, right around, $25 or so, maybe a little less, depending on where you are, maybe upwards of $30, but still, for a bourbon in that price range, you're going to get a fantastic product. So it's something definitely worth picking up. And again, it becomes kind of that daily drinker for a lot of people, just because it's readily available. The flavor's great. Not a lot of heat. Something that's not overly complex. But again, just a great flavor. So in terms of picking one or the other, I would probably lean a little bit more towards the 12 year, just because it has, for me, a little more, depth and everything to it. The barrels seem to be, just a little more complex. You can tell there's a little more age to this than there is, with the new one. But with that being said, they're both fantastic. So Again, thank you very much for watching, and again, I'd ask if you'd like to subscribe. I would appreciate it. Any suggestions that you may have would be great. So comment, thumbs up, thumbs down, and thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.